Hello, everyone. My name is Adrian Foster, and I'm the content marketing specialist for Velan Studios. I'm joined right here by
Hi, I'm Eric Fierstein. I'm the game director for Midnight Murder Club.
Eric. We're here to discuss that very game, Midnight Murder Club, which, by the way, is currently out of early access and available right now on Steam and PlayStation 5. And I hope all of you are playing it right now. And if you aren't, there's a little thing called Guest Pass you can utilize to help out with that. You want to talk about that, Eric?
Yeah, so Guest Pass. When we made this game, we knew we wanted you to be able to play with your friends. This is a first-person shooter party game, and a party is best with your friends. So we created something called the Guest Pass. And what this means is, with the Guest Pass, you can purchase the game and then have your friends download the Guest Pass edition of the game on Steam or on the PlayStation 5 store. And it's free to download. And then you can send them a friend invite, and they will join your game, and then they can play for as much as you want, any game mode, as long as you want, nothing is locked out. So they get to play for free because you bought the game. So one person has to buy the game, and then six people can play. I mean, that's pretty fun.
Yeah,
No,
that's a winning business model, actually. I love that. I have to ask you, Eric, as game director, I I can imagine the feeling or the sentiment of seeing this game that you've toiled over, thought about for so long, and now you can see it everywhere. You can see it on PlayStation 5 storefronts. You can see it on Steam storefronts. You can see it all across Twitch and YouTube, social medias, all these places you look to find Midnight Murder Club. There it is. So, what does it feel like? What sentiment do you get when you see this everywhere? Your vision brought to life.
weird
Okay. Good answer.
because it's when you work on something for this long, for any amount of time, really. It's you and your own brain, and then you and your coworkers and your friends, and you're all working on this thing together. And it feels like it's a little secret. It's a little secret you're working on. And then when you release it, it takes a little while for your brain to remember that, oh, right, strangers are playing that thing now. People you don't know are looking at that thing, and they're in this part of the mansion, and they're in the bedroom looking at that wall that you put that thing on, and they're doing all these little things, and it's a very weird feeling. It feels like there's strangers in my house type of thing. I invited them there, and they're
Right.
all invited, but it still is a little weird. It's like you walk into a room, and you're like, oh, hello, I didn't realize this bathroom was in use, and you are?" And then they shoot you.
I forgot you were
But
here.
yeah, but it's really weird because of that. I mean, it's super gratifying. It's amazing to get this chance to do something that very few people get to do, which is make a video game and then release it to the public and have people play it. It's always going to be a little weird of there being strangers in the house.
Well, the good news about it being strangers in your house, I think, is that right now it's also a shared vision. What was once your vision is now a shared vision amongst other people. So it's not just your house being influenced everywhere. Now it's like, oh, they're in all of our houses right now. Everybody's stepping into our four places. We're all part
Yeah.
of this.
Yeah, like especially when, if you go into the UI and you're choosing a game mode and you're watching those animations and then you hear the sounds and everything like that. It's all these different disciplines and different people on the team, and you're all getting to experience those things and getting to hear those things. And we have been the only ones listening to them for so long, and now everyone gets to. And yeah, I hope you like it.
There are so many things that take place in a game where you're talking about the audio, the UI, and the feel. You think about the fact that it's, like you said, it's your secret. It's the kind of thing where you're so used to your reactions the entire time, the way you see the game, and now you see through the scope and the lens of so many other people who are experiencing it for their very first time. And now,
Mhm.
for some people, it's their second, third, fourth, fifth glance because of how long they've been a part of the process of the game. Now I'm laughing just as much, if not more, than I was beforehand. I'm having a better time than I did before. So when you think about those kind of gratifying responses and those reactions from people in different stages of the game now, what would you say are some of your favorite things that you've seen so far since launch?
I think some of my favorite things would have to be all of the firsts that happened
Okay.
along the way. And one of the firsts ever was me showing the prototype that I created to the studio and to my friends and coworkers, being like, I think I have something that could be fun. And showing it to people, and hearing them laugh and hearing them shout and seeing them get it, and then they agreed, and they greenlit it. And then moving through that to getting the first mansion in the new engine, Viper, which is the engine we use in the studio, and then seeing the first flashlight, which just looked so gorgeous, and then hearing voices in the shadows because my original prototype did not have VO where you could hear other people talking.
Yeah.
But then as soon as we got that in there and hearing that for the first time, it was like, this is amazing. And then the first game mode and then blah, 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 and everything. And then the first person, the first stranger to play the game and the first streamer to play the game and the first, person to buy the game. It's like, it's just this nice collection of firsts that you get to ride this wave of positivity on, of like people get it, people like it, people are adding their own ideas to it. People are fighting for an idea that maybe isn't working and they're really trying to get it to work, and then we put it out there and people play it and they care enough about it to send us feedback, they care enough about it to stream it or make a video about it. That's that's really amazing. It's a feeling that you can't be prepared for, I think.
I feel like it will be very difficult and challenging to not fall in love with every first that you saw, even when there's a room for improvement, which, the stages of development cycle happen with the game. You talk about the very first flashlight you see, but I imagine that the very first one you see is like, oh my God, it's perfect. This is going to be the best game in the world.
Mhm.
Everything is exactly what I thought about it. And then a few months, a few years later, I take it all back. This is the best flashlight
Right.
I've ever
Yes.
seen in my entire life
Mhm.
as of right now. There's been incremental changes, I imagine, but has anything had
Yeah.
staying power?
So, I mean, the main thing is pitch black mansion, flashlight, gun. That is like the baseline idea.
Cocktail.
And maintaining that wasn't always easy because when you're when you're in the darkness, it's hard to know where you are. Bleh, obviously. So
Great point.
to move through the mansion, you have to turn your flashlight on. And when you do that, you get shot. So it feels like there's this that's the idea. That's the push and pull. But sometimes it's hard to keep the faith on that when you watch a playtester play and they just get shot over and over again. And I'm like, oh no, I gotta change something. I gotta change something. And the first thing you do is you reach for the easiest but biggest change that you think could change their experience of the game. And that is something that I think we were really trying to prevent us from doing, is go for the biggest, easiest change. Because sometimes the biggest, easiest change goes completely against the philosophy of the game. The
Mm,
easiest thing to do is turn lights on. That's like,
yeah.
but that's what we're trying something. We're trying something. So what else could we do? What else could we do? And that's where those little dust motes came from. So when you have your flashlight off, there's dust motes. And that is to help you understand that your camera is moving, that you're moving, and when you bump into something and those dust motes stop moving, you've stopped moving. And then we added little bump
That's so smart.
indicators. And it was like, it wasn't about turning lights on, it was about people didn't have information. So let's give them more information in different ways. And I've completely forgotten what your question was,
No, it's okay
but
because it doesn't matter at this point. I'm still on dust motes. I heard everything else. Actually, I'll take it back. I I heard everything that you said. I wasn't listening as well as I should because I just think dust motes look cool in game as a graphical effect. I never thought of them as a staging device to orientate where you are in the game. That's why I love these kind of talks because when you say it, I get it. When I'm in the game, I don't think about it, but my brain actively uses the information to figure out, yeah, that's how you're doing this. What a great way to come up with that and then see it come to fruition.
yeah, it was really fun to see people struggle moving through the mansion. And then we added things like that. And then those conversations of I'm struggling to move through the mansion just slowly turned to other issues they were having, and we stopped focusing so much on on that particular struggle. And
Yeah.
it's really fun because you don't always know that you've solved the problem like immediately. You kind of realize after like a week or two, you're like, oh wait, we kind of stopped talking about that thing. We're talking about something else now. I guess we solved it. And that's really fun. That's really interesting. And you have to remember you have to remember to watch out for those things, to pay attention to those things, because otherwise it can feel like, oh my god, all I have is problems and we haven't solved any of them. It's like, well, hang on, go look back at your old videos. I have recorded so much of this game throughout the years that we've been working on it.
Yes, you
And to
have.
go back and look at one of the first videos we have, I'm like, oh man, I'm so glad, we changed this, we changed that. I'm so glad I got rid of that room, because that room was just going to be confusing for people. If people are going to get stuck in there. I'm so glad we added the dust motes. I'm so glad this and that.
We can't talk about where Midnight Murder Club currently is if we don't talk about where it was, which is kind of what we've been doing. So, how long has Midnight Murder Club been in the works?
Uh, 10 years, almost to the month. Um,
Nice.
yes, I tried very hard to convince everybody to release this game as Midnight Murder Club 10th year anniversary edition, but no one
Oh my goodness. What a
no one
good
agreed with me.
idea. That's a great idea.
So in 2015, I was between jobs. I had just finished making and releasing a game, and I was just kind of between things. And I was watching a lot of streamers and other YouTube gaming groups play games. They played a lot of Trouble in Terrorist Town, a lot of Prop on, a lot of these very like party first person shooter games. I was like, man, I love these games. These games are so good. They're so perfectly designed. I want to make something that would be fun to play with friends in like a first person shooter environment. And that's where the idea came from. And I made a prototype out of it. I did it at home. I cobbled it together using YouTube videos and free models I found on the internet, and I made a really, really janky version of a old Victorian mansion, and I got some of my friends together and I said, "Here's an idea I have. What do you think?" And we played it, and they gave me some feedback, and then I did a little bit of more work on it, and then I got a different group of friends. And I basically have just been doing that every once in a while over these 10 years. Like every time I move a computer, I have to bring everything with me.
Right.
And I'll start bringing everything over on a new hard drive and be like, "Oh, right, Midnight Murder Club. I totally forgot about that. I should play that again. I should get some more people to play that and get some feedback on it." And there was just a time when Velan was like, "We're looking for any new ideas if anybody has any pitches they want." And I just so happened to be in between moving computers when I was reminded about Midnight Murder Club, and I was like, I think I should finally make a pitch for this, and I should pitch it to people."
That'd be a great name for a book about this. Between computers. I'd read that.
Speaking of names, I was actually nervous to pitch the game as Midnight Murder Club
Sure.
because I thought that, of all the games we've made so far, none of them were so, brazen in their use of the word murder and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I pitched it under a different, just like temp name, and then, when we were looking for what to name it, we were doing all this work, coming up with all these different titles, and I said, I never told anybody, but I had an original title for it. I was nervous to pitch. It's called Midnight Murder Club, and I wasn't even finished saying it when Dave Boker's the head of our marketing was like, "Oh, that's a perfect name. Just go with that name." I was like, "Oh, I had no idea."
Just one and done.
Yeah, yeah,
Just approved the right way. Great name. I didn't tell you the
yep,
rest of the title though. There's 5 more words.
yeah. That anniversary edition. I see. I didn't get it all the way out. I didn't
Yeah.
get it out, and that's why it didn't happen.
Should have sped it up. It is
But
a
yeah, it's pretty wild that almost the exact month, it would have been 10 years since the last time I looked at the files the other day, the last time I touched them was October of 2015. So it's almost to the month. That was the last time I ever touched, like, the last time I exported a build, and, um, ideas take a long time sometimes,
yeah.
and, I guess that one took a long time, but mostly out of me forgetting about it and then remembering and doing a little work on it and then forgetting and remembering, and then it was really just a right place, right time. The villain was looking for small projects. I had one, and everybody at the studio seemed to like it.
I love the idea of a digital project kind of taking on the ideation and mentality of a very physical concept, which is an unfinished woodworking project, an unfinished
Yeah.
card you're not working on, a painting you haven't come back to. Not like a backlog game, but just an actual hands on thing you're working on. Where you say,
Mhm.
I really should complete that project one day. And you did it with the game. Like, hey, you know what?
Yeah,
This game
it's
could be
like
something.
it's like, "Hey, I've been noodling on this song for a little while, you wanna hear it?" And then it's like, "Hey Jude," or something like that, but I'm like it's like, "Yeah, I've been noodling on this idea, and I haven't seen anyone do it yet, and it seems like it could be fun, and if anything, I know it's fun. So, what do you think?" And then, yeah, people
I actually did
people
see a
agreed.
YouTube comment that said this is the Hey Jude of video games. So it
Wow.
tracks. Yeah. I don't know
Oh.
who that makes you, if you're Ringo or George or you have preference, but
Oh, I'm Eric.
working on it for 10 years and having it be here so close. Well, almost 10 years. October coming up so soon. You gonna treat yourself to anything in October? You're gonna sit down, you're gonna reflect, you're gonna get on the hood of your car and stare at the stars for a bit?
I don't know. I mean, I definitely have to celebrate in the mansion.
Yes.
Um,
Or buy a mansion.
maybe I'll buy a mansion, yeah. Maybe I'll jump into a wild cards with pop guns
Mm,
and just set off the pop gun and celebrate, and then someone will come up behind me and stab me in the back, and I'm like, "Ah, I deserve
at
it."
the stroke of midnight. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. We should make that an event actually, an October event. Hop in the game, everybody meet in the same hall, no matter where you are with your friends right now, we'll all fire off at once.
10 gun salute, and then just
Yeah,
start stabbing.
right.
Start stabbing.
What would you say is the difference between what Midnight Murder Club was as a concept between all those years, the computer movements, and where it is now? How much has changed for better or for worse?
The original idea was a much smaller game, and what it is now is I don't think there is any for worse. I think it only got better with everybody's involvement. Like I said, I never would have imagined that it would look like this, that it would sound like this, and that it would play like this. Like every single the original pitch, all it was free for all deathmatch. That's all it was. And we worked really hard to make Headhunters and Thief in the Night and Wild Cards and then Graveyard Shift. We worked really hard on those, and those didn't exist. And that was it wasn't against the original design. Everything always was, how can we make a game mode that capitalizes on the light dark mechanic? And we got to play in that space and come up with these other game modes, and it just made the game better.
Okay, so now that it is where it is today, and now that we've had so many people playing the game from early access to launch right now, people who are playing it with friends, content creators of all sizes, what's one thing you find people aren't doing? What's like a tip or a concept, something that when you watch it, it's not so much backseating, like, oh, I wish you would do this, but like hmm, no one's doing this yet.
I think that my favorite thing to do in game is
Like that.
it's really heightened by the way our voice works in game. My favorite thing to do in game is to lie.
What do you mean by that?
I love to be in a room and know there's somebody in the room next to me and to like shoot my gun and shout and pretend that I'm being attacked because that emboldens the team in the other room to just run through the door to try to like capitalize off me getting shot. When I'm not getting shot, I'm pretending. And my teammate is just has their gun on that door waiting for them to come through. I love doing that. I love being there with a teammate and hearing people like down a hallway, and I whisper to my teammate, "You go around," and then I just continue talking as if you're still in the room with me, as if it's just me and my teammate still there. So they think I'm not paying attention, and they're gonna try to flank me, but meanwhile, they're being flanked the whole time. It's great.
Oh my
Um,
gosh, that's like a Jurassic
yeah,
Park track.
yeah. So, lying in game, only lie in game, don't
Sure.
lie in real life.
Yeah.
Lying in game is really fun with our proximity voice chat, and especially, like, if you get downed and you're crawling around on the ground, you can't be hurt.
Yeah.
You're gonna bleed out eventually, but you've got 10 seconds to just mess with the other team. So you put your flashlight on, and you're like, they're here in the corner, they're trying to
Uh
hide."
huh.
Or again, shout out to your teammate and give them, give them information that the other player doesn't know by pinging or by saying, "Oh man, I don't even know where my teammate is. I think they logged off." And the other team being like, "Oh, that sucks, man. Sorry, I didn't know you didn't have a teammate." And then here comes my teammate. Bang, 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 bang.
I think they logged off. Has that worked? Have you tried that actually?
Oh no, yes,
Oh
100%.
my
I've said like I was like, "Man, this sucks. My teammate is AFK. Yeah, oh, I hate when that happens." And they're like, "Oh," and they kind of stand around me looking at me. And then my teammate walks up and stab, stab, takes him down. It's great.
you know, part of me thinks that's a lot of work for one kill, but then I think about wild cards with the wild card swap kills with the score leader.
Yeah, kill steal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a perfect
yeah.
opportunity to do that kind of thing. Clock's running down, 5 seconds. Well, I guess you got me. Blah, 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 blah.
If we could have somehow detected if someone was lying or not, we could have made a wild card liar, liar, pants on fire.
Oh my
If you lie, you set
gosh.
on fire. But no, we wouldn't have, because then I wouldn't have been able to lie all the time. So never mind. I strike that card. I strike that card from the record.
Oh, that's a good idea. We could follow it up with like a big red button where we all meet in the middle to find out if they're lying or not.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, you can have
You
that one.
want to design a game?
All yours. I think there's also this really fun fine line because people play the game in different ways. From what I've seen, there are people who are hardcore competitive. Like, oh, that last game I got like 1,072 kills, which I think it might be a record. And you're like, all right, well, I'm just
Mhm.
trying to play my party game. I've seen some folks who are playing it just like a party game, but one of them is super competitive. But you have all these different archetypes of people and friend groups who are all playing it in different ways. And there are different ways to experience it all the way through, which is why I think it's really cool to have modes like wildcards that have balancing acts in between, or to have, ones like Graveyard Shift, where if you are ultra competitive and you feel like you're the best gamer in the world, okay, show me.
Try to beat my mansion.
Yeah, funny story. We have a video
Yeah,
about that coming out pretty
I dare
soon,
you.
so you can find
I
out.
have yet to. I've yet to beat the game.
The reason I put my head down is because I can't say anything like haha because I was definitely there with him trying to do the same
You were
thing
there
and we
too.
couldn't either. So
And who went down first? I'm trying to remember.
hey,
Hmm.
what do you have a message for the people watching the video right now?
I think the biggest thing I'd like to say is this game just came from people. Like I said, I made the first prototype just by using YouTube videos and free assets that are on the internet. And this is, again, like I said, this was in 2015 when there was so much less of this. I cobbled this thing together and I was able to show it to my friends, and all thanks to YouTube videos, all thanks to every YouTube video I watched was someone like 14 years younger than me, like explaining to me how to use this thing, and it's all so nice. And there's like discords where people talk about this stuff. There are so many places you can go to learn how to do this. And I just encourage you, if you have any interest, just try it. It's really difficult, and there are a lot of unforeseen things that you're gonna bump up against. Things that we still, even in a professional office environment like at Velan, we still bump into things we don't understand or we don't know how to solve. But try, get your friends involved, get them playing, get them interested, and just see what you can do, because I never would have imagined that this game would have become what it is 10 years ago. And I shouldn't have waited 10 years. That's a long time to wait, but I never would have imagined where it would be now. And the only reason it's here is because I was like, I just want to try something. And I tried not to get hung up on perfect. I just tried to get the idea across. This is what I mean. Do you get what I mean? Here's my game idea. Because we're just people. We're just people trying to make games, and all the decisions we make come, from different places. Some of them come from because it's the best idea we have, or it's the best idea we have in the time we have left or the money we have left, because those are two very different things. If you have all the time in the world, the best idea is different than if you have a week and a half left before you have to ship something. Those are two very different best ideas. And learning how to make that decision and differentiating between the two is a very fun and interesting skill to have. Because when you're starting a project, there are things that are very, very important to you. And when you're at the end of a project, there are things that you have to let go of. And it hurts to let go of them sometimes, but sometimes it's freeing. And be like, oh, we're never going to do that thing that I wanted to do. I can stop thinking about it, or I can think about it for the next one or for an update or something like that, but I don't have to think about it now. And then that just helps when I'm getting a little long winded here, but when you play somebody else's game and you're like, why did they make these decisions? They probably made decisions for reasons that you will experience yourself if you ever try them. You're like, oh, this animation is a little janky. They're not an animator. They couldn't find an animation online, so this is the best they could do to get the idea across, and it really helps to make you a better designer, creator, and player of games.
For anybody else watching right now who still may not be sold on the idea or concept of what Midnight Murder Club is, because this will be tagged, this will be ordered by chapter. So if someone skips this part right now, the part that says chapter elevator pitch, what is the elevator pitch?
So Midnight Murder Club is a game that I wanted to play with my friends. And as we made it, I kept that in mind that this is a game to play with your friends. If you like games like Trouble in Terrorist Town, Prop Hunt, things like that, if you like those party weird games where you spend a lot of the time laughing and shouting at your friends, that's what this game was made for. It does this interesting mix of goofy and serious because you can be having a really goofy time. You can be shouting at your friends, or you can be shouting in jokes across the mansion or lying to their faces like I do. But then sometimes you're in a room and you think you hear a sound and you all of a sudden you get that little, like that tense feeling. Someone is in the room with me. And if I play my cards right, I'm gonna be able to shoot them without them even knowing I was here. So this tension rises up as well. So it's this really interesting party game mixed with tense that I really love. I really enjoy. My friends seem to really enjoy it. So if it's any interest to you in that, please just give it a try. Like I said, it's very easy to try. Only one person has to purchase it. You can get 5 people to play for free. Let me know.
Call that a call to action. Shout outs to guest pass. I'm gonna call that the penthouse floor level elevator pitch. I'm sold on it
Very
though.
good.
It was a long ride up. We got there, and the floor that I got out on is the one where I'm like, you know what? I'll take it. So thank you so much, Eric, for your time, for your vision, for your patience. Everyone, of course, on the Midnight Murder Club team who helped bring this to life, bring it to where it is right now. All the things you may not see behind this camera, behind this video to get the game to where it is now, even after launch, the follow through and everything that comes with it.
Mhm.
Thank you, everyone on the team. Thank you, Eric, for everything that you did. And thank you for helping me along the way, too, in my short stint here and all the feedback you've given me to help create these beautiful social platform, these ideations, these creations along the way to help people understand what Midnight Murder Club is and why they might want to play it and the enjoyment they've had so far playing the game. And thank you for putting out the guest pass too commentary for all of you right now who are watching. Little reminder that you can go ahead and play using guest pass by downloading the guest pass edition, where at no additional cost you can invite up to 5 friends to play with you on Midnight Murder Club. As always, if you're watching this video, no matter where it is, if it's on YouTube or our many other social channels like Twitter, Blue Sky, Facebook, Discord, Instagram, wherever it might be, please leave comments down below because we do have a dedicated person who is reading those comments and will bring the commentary back to us. But wait, there's more. Did you know, Eric, that we too read those comments? If you go to Discord right now, you will see my name, you will see his name amongst you, the people reacting in real time. And I think that actually ties back into what you were saying earlier about who this game is for and how much it means to you. But even during this cycle and after launch, you're like right there in the mosh pit with everybody else when somebody's like, hey, I turned my flashlight on and it's not as bright as I thought. And sure enough, there's Eric Colossal answering.
Yeah, if you have any questions about the game, why we made a decision we did, why something acts the way it is, even if you're just curious from a game perspective, or if you're curious from a game design perspective, just ask. I love talking to people about that stuff. I love to be reminded why we made decisions, and also I really love being told why there was a better decision that we didn't see that we can then take into our next game or into updates for this game. So yeah, jump into the Discord. Let me know how you're feeling about the game. If you have any questions, I'd love to answer
He's not kidding. On like my first few weeks here, I've seen sentence replies and I've seen paragraph replies.
them.
Don't worry, it's nothing sinister. It's just people are having full on conversations about the game. And there's something beautiful about that because I feel like if you're not having conversations that long about the game, if anything, that showcases the amount of care that you have about it. I care enough to write all these words about this game, and you care enough to write all these words right back. So thanks, Eric.
Thank you, Adrian, and thank you, everybody. I hope you like it.